appreciate that. I just want to add one thing. What we're asking the Republicans in the Senate to do is to take yes for an answer. We are sending them back exactly, word for word, what they have passed, whether it's to cover the 8 agencies of government, and exactly what they passed in a continuing resolution until February 8th. Why would they not do that? Is it because the president won't sign it? Did they not hear about the co-equal branch of government and that the Congress sends the president legislation and he can choose to sign or not? But to choose to keep government shut down by rejecting what the Republicans themselves have written, not us, that the Republicans themselves have written. So there's something very wrong with this picture. It can't possibly be that the president is saying, I will never sign what the Republicans in the Senate have written. There's something very negative about the role of government meeting the people's needs and doing so in a timely fashion, because when government is shut down, it's billions of dollars of cost to the economy, not just for public employees and meeting their needs. It's about the economy that is affected by it. Ask any cab driver, luncheonette, or whatever when they see their receipts turned down. So we're just saying to the Senate, we didn't alter any language. We just are sending you what you have passed. Take yes for an answer. Open up government. Give us a month for us to negotiate what this package could be to protect our borders, because border security is a priority that we all have. It's a responsibility that we have. We take an oath to protect and defend. So you can't say if you're not for the wall, you're not for border security. That is a very false statement. So we're just saying it. Let's make it easy for you. Do what you have already done. Open up government. Let's have an adult conversation about how we protect our borders. And let's listen to people who know what they're talking about, like Congresswoman, Madam Chair Lucille Roybal Allard, about what the opportunity cost is of spending $1 billion on a wall.
Madam Speaker, at some point, do you have to give the president what he wants, if only because there are hundreds of thousands of federal workers who can't afford to go without a paycheck
anymore? The president cannot hold public employees hostage because he wants to have a wall that is not effective in terms of its purpose, not cost effective in terms of what the opportunity cost it is of federal dollars to spend. And the president has said Mexico is going to pay for this. Come on, let's anchor ourselves into reality. Mexico is not going to pay for this wall, so no.
Speaker Pelosi, thank you. What about, Mitch McConnell said just this afternoon, he said, let's not get off on the wrong foot with House Democrats. He's essentially portraying these two bills tonight as messaging bills. Do you view that as him trying to set up the House as a foil? So he can say, wait a minute, they're just off.
You're going to have to ask him.
So is there any situation in which you would accept even $1 of wall funding for this president in order to reopen the government?
$1? $1.
So
$1? Yeah, $1.
How high was you willing to go? Are you willing to go?
No. You said $1. You said $1. So
how high are you willing to go?
Well, that's not your question. You said $1. The fact is, a wall is an immorality. It's not who we are as a nation. And this is not a wall between Mexico and the United States that the president is creating here. It's a wall between reality and his constituents, his supporters. He does not want them to know what he's doing to Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security in his budget proposal. He does not want them to know what he's doing to clean air and clean water and the rest in his Department of Interior and of EPA. He does not want them to know how he is hurting them, so he keeps the subject on the wall. He's a master of diversion. We're trying to open up government. We're giving him a mature path to do so, not in our language, but in the Senate language. I'm just going to take one more question.
remember times in this body where leaders at both ends of Pennsylvania were willing to put country above party. Vice President Pence came up here just before Christmas and made a deal on the wall, offered a deal on the wall to Senator Schumer, in which he more than halved what the president was requiring, more than $7 billion. He halved it down to $2.1 billion. You rejected it out of hand.
No, I didn't reject it out of hand. He didn't make it to me, but before his wheels were even up off the Capitol, the White House was saying, we reject that. We're not going below $5 billion. So, I mean, if you want to tell that story, tell the whole story. The White House immediately said, now they're saying $5.6 billion. So they weren't even on the level with the vice president's offer that he made. And so if you want to, again, say something better, go to them and say, why don't you stick with what you offer? The president said on January 9th, 2017, in the White House, in public view, many of you were in that, I don't know if you were, but your affiliates were in that room. And he said to the senators, this is what I want, bring it to me in a bipartisan way and I'll sign it. He said that publicly, and then he walked away from it. He had a meeting with Chuck Schumer and me on the subject of the Dreamers. He said he would do this or that, and then he walked away from it. So understand this, you can't have an agreement that people are going to walk away from, and that is what they did time and time again.
Over each other. You're not negotiating in any way.
We're not doing a wall. Does anybody have any doubt about we're not doing a wall? So that's it.
Are you worried about backlash? Are you worried about backlash?
No, it has
for
nothing to
taking
do with politics. It has to do with the wall is an immorality between countries. It's an old way of thinking. It isn't cost effective. And the fact is, as Congresswoman Lucille Robo Allard said, there are things we could be doing at the ports of entry. First of all, if you want infrastructure, we need more infrastructure at the ports of entry. If you want to detect drugs, as we all do, then there is a technology that can scan these cars coming through. We're spending about $40 million. We should be spending about $300 million to do that. And that's by the Border Control people's own numbers. So there's so many things that we can be doing to maintain who we are as a country. You don't live on the border, maybe some of you do. It's a community with a border going through it. And if they're saying that these drugs and this or that are largely coming through the ports of entry, beef up the ports of entry to do that. But there's no reason. The wall, in my view, is an immorality. It is, again, a waste of money, an opportunity cost to protect the American people. But it is a diversionary tactic on the part of the president. And now he wants to use the shutdown of government as taking these public employees, and not only them, but the people who are served by them, hostage to his wall. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.